Listen up, my Gucci Maniacs. I'm back. I thought I would be doing something more fun right now. I was planning on doing a dance that I'd created called the WrestleMania, but I can't do that because the last few weeks, Democrat candidates have been going on, last couple of days actually, I should say, have been going around accusing President Trump and his rhetoric for the shooting that took place in El Paso. If we were to hold politicians accountable for what somebody else did, and if it's somebody that supported them did, then we would have to hold Elizabeth Warren accountable for what happened in Dayton, Ohio, because the shooter there the day before was actually a Elizabeth Warren supporter. He supported Antifa, and he was a very far leftist. But the mainstream media ain't telling you about that because they are biased. All right, how about that guy that shot up the baseball field filled with congressmen a couple of years ago and almost killed Steve Scalise? He was a well-known Bernie supporter, leftist, called himself a socialist. So we should hold Bernie Sanders, by the Democrat standard, accountable for that. Let's go all the way back to the 70s and 80s. President Jimmy Carter, when he was running against Ronald Reagan, and he was trying to keep and running for re-election, and Reagan, of course, whooped him big time. But in Chicago, Illinois, there was a manager of his campaign headquarters in Chicago who turned out to be one of the biggest, most notorious serial killers out there. And that serial killer is none other than John Wayne Gacy. So I reckon Jimmy Carter should be held responsible for what John Wayne Gacy did, right? No. None of the three of them should be held accountable for what their supporters did. And Trump should never be held accountable for what happened in El Paso. The person who should be held accountable are the people who did the crimes. So stop blaming President Trump for something that the guy in El Paso did if y'all not going to blame people on your side for what their supporters did. And the support on the left are far more dangerous and have been far more aggressive the last 3 years than supporters on the right. Now, as a conservative independent, I don't have a dog in the fight. I made it very clear in several of my videos I was not a Trump supporter. But I am a conservative independent. I vote conservatively. But it has nothing to do with party or a person. And that's the bottom line because the Gooch said so.